Hello and what is going on, lovely people of the internet? It is Hootmoney here with another video for you guys today. Today we're going to be talking about the NFT bull run and how exactly you guys could profit off of it. I'm going to look at all the different indicators I use for analyzing NFTs and we can go from there. So a lot of people don't know exactly what an NFT is, why it has value. It's a picture. I'll try to explain it briefly right now. Just like any cryptocurrency has speculative value, same thing with NFTs, right? They are on the blockchain. So if we move into this right here, you guys can see this is Etherscan, right? And we're going to be looking at Ethereum NFTs because these are the NFTs that I am most familiar with. And Ethereum has very high gas fees. So just know if you're doing anything with NFTs, be prepared to pay like $200 in gas fees. That, so that's just a transaction fee, right? Like you can see right here, this transaction fee was about 0.03 ETH. And that is pretty expensive. I mean, some of these are like, most of these are like 0.2. And you can see these are all my transactions. So these are all like money that just gets eaten away from my Ethereum. Here's another 0.2. So I've spent thousands of dollars in Ethereum gas fees just to trade these NFTs. That's the first and most obvious risk to buying these Ethereum NFTs, and it probably won't be solved until Ethereum 2.0. Unfortunately, there's workarounds such as Immutable X, which is another token and marketplace, but for the time being, actual Ethereum smart contract NFTs are going to have to pay high gas fees. But anyways, what I was trying to say is you have your ERC20 tokens right here. You can see USD coin, Ethereum name service, wrapped Ether, wrapped Bitcoin. These are all transactions that I made. You can see my wallet. You can go to Etherscan, type in hootmoney.eth, see every single transaction that I've ever made. ERC 721 tokens, these are what the NFTs are. So you can see Superlative Secret Society, Alphabety Doodles, Galaxy Eggs, Unusual Whales NFT, Ethereum name service. This is the NFT that made me $19,000. Fatalis, Fangang, Koala's Intelligence Agency. Basically, a lot of these NFTs that I bought, they went down to zero. NFTs are extremely risky. There's such a high supply, and the demand is spread very thin. So we can see the Dune analytics right here for Ethereum volume, and this is why exactly I'm making this video. So you can see that it spiked up just the past few days. We've also seen things like Mutant Ape Yacht Club. Their floor has been rising. So this whole video is essentially so you don't make the same mistake as me. You can see just a few days ago, the average price being sold was about 5 Ethereum. Now we're getting up to about 7.5 Ethereum. So Mutant Ape Yacht Club is what I believe is driving this little NFT bull run that we're seeing right here. And if we do end up seeing anything like we saw in August, a lot of these NFTs could start increasing in value very fast. And again, you should probably be paying attention to some of these charts. Again, this is Dune Analytics. You can see right here. You can type that in on Google if you want. But yeah, you have to be paying attention, because if you get a really bad NFT, you might think it's going to the moon, but then next thing you know, it's 2 months later, that thing's worth 0.01 Ethereum and you got rug pulled. So it's important that you really do know these important projects. Another thing that we have right here is NFT is being searched on Google the most that we have seen ever, and yeah, this is only going to about the 13th of November. So if we do the past, let's say 90 days instead, you guys can see that NFTs are pretty much at an all-time high. I mean, the highest that we saw was on November 9th and then on November 11th. Now it's coming down a little bit, but we're also seeing that volume pick up on OpenSea. So there potentially could be a nice little NFT bull run right here. Another thing that I look at is the Unusual Whales NFT, and you see up here that it has this wallet address 0x9FC and then D1FA. That is my Ethereum wallet. So you can see the same thing right here, 1FA. So you can see that I am actually connected, wrong tab right there, I'm actually connected through Web 3.0. So my wallet is connected to this website, and that is what gives me access to it on Unusual Whales. So I actually own the Unusual Whales NFT. So this is what I usually do to look for what I think will have the most potential upside, or just value creation, or just probably the best investments in an NFT, I'll look at these charts, and they're only taking into consideration, I believe, orders that are over 5,000 or more for this. So $5,000 USD or more. That's what they're taking into consideration. They mark green orders that show up on the timeline. They mark green as less than 10,000, and then they have other ones too. So about 50% of this volume is greater than $10,000 or more, which is pretty substantial in my opinion. So we can see right here what are whales buying in the NFT space. So you can see right here the number one thing that is being bought is Mutant Ape Yacht Club. So Mutant Ape Yacht Club is a derivative of Bored Ape Yacht Club. So Mutant Ape Yacht Club has a 20,000 supply. Bored Ape Yacht Club has a 10,000 supply. So Mutant Ape Yacht Club is what is going to be pumping, because it is, if you double the floor price, it is much cheaper than Bored Ape Yacht Club. I don't know if it means anything, because Bored Ape Yacht Club did come first, so it's probably more valuable to own Bored Ape Yacht Club, but I believe there's a bit of an arbitrage in Mutant Ape Yacht Club. They believe the floor was priced a bit too low for what Bored Ape Yacht Club is trading at. You can also see right here a big one that is being bought right now, tons of volume in Sandbox lands. So if you've seen some of my gaming cryptos videos, I've talked about Sandbox before, and buying up these land in Sandbox is a big thing right now. And I think that could be a great investment, because unlike Mutant Ape Yacht Club obviously has the nice pictures. It's a nice picture to look at, you pull it up on your phone, but Sandbox actually gives you access to a game. So this is an NFT that gives you utility. So when looking for these NFTs, don't just look at something that looks pretty, right? If you're paying $1,000 for something that looks pretty on your phone, you don't know if in 3 months it's still going to look pretty, right? I mean, it's going to look just as pretty, but you don't know if it's going to be worth as much. With something like Sandbox Land, this is an NFT that actually has utility, because it can be used in game. You get access to that land in Sandbox once the Sandbox metaverse is fully out. So I do believe Sandbox is a decent investment, but you can also see Lazy Lions is getting a good push from this. Mechaverse has a 2%. Doodles Mechaverse was actually going up recently, so that one came down a lot. Doodles is at 10. So these are the ones that you want to be looking at. Some of the ones here. Treeverse has 1 point whatever. Subducks has 2%. Dogecoin has 1%. VFriends looks like it has about 1 or 2%. World of Women is 2%. I believe that floor actually came up a little bit. Anonymized, but these are the ones that you should be buying. Cool Cats, Creature World. I think Creature World is actually a bit undervalued. Yeah, but you're gonna see that there's a massive barrier to entry on a lot of these projects. For example, if we just scroll up to Subducks, this is a good project right here. It's at 61 in total volume on the day. It has a 1.7 Ethereum floor. Something right here that is at 0.02 Ethereum, it looks cheap, but it's probably cheap for a reason, right? Also, Desperate Ape Wives. This is one that probably got minted recently. I'm not too sure, but it has a 0.38 Ethereum floor. This is one that might just die out in a few months. I don't know for sure. I don't know the project. This is just my assumption looking at these analytics right here. Strong Ape Club. This also looks like one that will likely die out. Pudgy Penguins, we saw that this one is one that is being accumulated. This one has held its floor pretty well through the bear market, or somewhat of a bear market. And I believe Pudgy Penguins is a good blue chip investment. Cyberkongs as well. Cyberkongs is another nice blue chip investment. But the barrier to entry is about $5,000 to get some of these good projects that will likely see the most benefit. Everything else is very high risk. For example, this thing right here, Bear X Labs, has a lot of volume today, 0.26 ETH floor. I don't know if that's going to be something that is continued to be bought. If we look at just the most popular projects, there are some tiny ones. Ethereum Name Services, Tiny Fluff, the Galactic Apes, Dead Fellas, etc. Some tiny ones up there, but the main ones right here, Bored Ape Kennel Club, Creature World, Doodles. Creature World, I want to look at Mutant Ape Yacht Club, and then obviously Sandbox. So I just want people to be mindful, because you can buy like a $500 NFT that's going for 0.1 ETH. But will it remain at that price point throughout the bull market? Maybe you'll make some money, but another thing is that this NFT market is super illiquid. So if the hype dries out, you can easily lose money because no one is buying them, right? These usually are 10,000 items, right? So that's extremely low, but it's also, all of these are 10,000. So there's a massive supply when it comes down to it, when you take into consideration all the NFTs, and one thing might be pumping now, you don't know if it's going to hold its value. That's why I believe these NFTs that you see right here, like Sandbox Land, are probably going to be some of the most valuable NFTs in the future, because it actually offers some type of utility, right? VeeFriends, this is another one that's always going to hold its floor, because Gary Vee is behind the project and he's always promising real world utility. He's always updating his roadmap. He's having VeeFriends conference, which is going to be a massive NFT conference. And yeah, Neo Tokyo, this is a good one. I believe some YouTubers are behind this project, and has a 14 ETH floor. So you see it has a 2,000 items, 14 ETH floor. That is massive, and it's likely going to stay up there in my opinion. Doodles, this is another one that we've seen being accumulated. You can see it right here. This one is a profile picture project, so you've been warned. But whales are accumulating it. This one has a decent amount of hype. If it's going to continue its hype, that is a different question. You can see the average price being sold just a few days ago was 1.3. Now it's up to about 2.2. So Doodles is going up right now. Will it maintain that floor? Well, you can also check and see what the floor was at its lowest point. You can see right here, November 2nd. No one was really talking about NFTs. Ethereum was going up a lot. Doodles came down to about 1.2 ETH average sale, and it's went up since then. But the fact that even when Ethereum was pumping up and going up in value, this thing did not go below a 1 ETH floor. This is a pretty good sign. Should you buy it now for 1.8 ETH? You are a bit chasing that, but still, the fact that it didn't go below a 1 ETH floor means that likely it will retain some of its value in the future. So Superlative Secret Society, this is another NFT that I believe will benefit from this NFT bull run. A lot of people just absolutely love this art. I mean, just look at it. It's crazy. Look at this guy. But anyways, this one has also somewhat retained its value. It did go down a little bit, but throughout this whole time, like, Ethereum has been pumping up. This went from 0.23. It got to a peak of about 0.54 for average sales in October. And if we go back, you can see that in October, this was pretty low, right? This was pretty low volume right here, declining volume. And this one was actually going up, which I believe is a very good thing. And now we're seeing it to start to come up again. So I believe this one is a decent one to get around 0.3 ETH. It was going for about 0.2 ETH the other day, but now it's coming right back up. The NFT bull market is coming back up. You can also see the volume down here as well. Lost Poets in the page. This one did bottom out. It looks like it's now back up to 0.42 ETH. It saw a low of about 0.39 ETH. And this one I just think is going to be great because Pack, the artist behind this NFT, and you see no art here. I mean, it's literally a blank page, but it's all part of this game behind Lost Poets. If you click on Lost Poets, it's completely different. The page is a certain asset, but these are the Lost Poets. They're all generative art right there, and these poets need pages. So the pages right here, these are a depreciating asset. In order to level up those Lost Poets that you saw on the screen, they need to burn pages. So they need pages. So this is a deflationary asset right here, so that the Lost Poet NFTs can go up in ranking and become more rare because they need pages. And yeah, so this is another one that I think did bottom out. You can see right here that the average price a few days ago was about 0.37, and it's coming back up now. It saw a high of 1.41 ETH right before the reveal of the poets, and has been coming down ever since. But I still believe that it should see some upside, and it's maintained about 0.38 ETH at its lowest point, which is also why it could potentially see some upside. Any project that goes up to 1.4 ETH but goes all the way back down to maybe like 0.1 ETH, that is a project that might be one that you want to avoid. So this right here is one that you should probably avoid, and this is my mistake. I'm going to show you guys my mistake and show you guys how to avoid my mistake. I bought this guy for 0.9 ETH at pretty much the height of the bull run. August 28th, we can go back to Dune Analytics. August 28th is literally right here, the hype of the Ethereum volume. So it was coming down ever since I had this one coming to me. But Koala Intelligent Agency, I love the project, I love the community, I love the devs, but it's only sitting at a 0.11 floor price right now. And to say that it won't come up, I don't know for sure, but we can just look and see what this thing did. It pumped up like crazy in all the way up to 1.55 Ethereum floor. Then it came down, right? And this is where I bought in. I was like, hey, I'm buying the dip. It's about a moon again. Well, it didn't do that, right? And it came back up at one point to get about a 0.9 average ETH sale volume, but now it's just got no volume whatsoever. I mean, you see the volume completely die out, and its average sale price is around 0.14. So I'm not saying it's a terrible project, but it is one that went from all the way to 1.4 all the way back down to about 0.12. So it is a bit sketchy when you do see a floor price go down that much. Obviously, people sell for losses all the time in NFTs, so it's just one to be careful of. You don't know if it's going to make it, right? You don't know if something like this is going to make it. You don't see the whales buying it. It's not really checking the boxes at this point. Right here is another project that I bought for about 0.12 ETH, and now it's back to 0.01 ETH. And you just have to be careful, right? This was a cool project at first, but it's been going down ever since it came out. As soon as it came out, it went for about 0.5 ETH each, and then it just has been dying off ever since it came out. So there's a lot of NFT projects that are originally just going to have a lot of hype, and then once the hype dies down, then it sells off. So I'm trying to look for projects that have maintained their floor price throughout the whole bear market, throughout the whole, what we see right here, where the volume just comes down like crazy, and look for something that did maintain. So you might actually have to dish out some money, because a lot of the legit projects are going to at least have like a 1 ETH floor, and that's for a good reason. Corruptions, I have not heard of it. It has a 0.65 ETH floor. Maybe it just came out. Let's click on it. Let's see what it's all about. So you can see this one just came out at 0.75 ETH as of 11/12. That was 3 days ago. And it immediately came down. The average sale price came down to about 0.54. Now it's coming back up. It's about 0.6. But this is something that I probably want to avoid, just for the fact that you don't know if it's going to keep going up. I mean, the whole description of this is experimental art, no roadmap, and absolutely no promises. So how do you know that this NFT has any utility? They're saying that they have no utility and they're just selling it. It's experimental art. This whole thing for the creator right here is an experiment. So should you buy something like Corruptions? I wouldn't be surprised if this thing goes down. Maybe it pumps up here because we have a volume spike in the NFT market. But I wouldn't be surprised if something like this comes down and is trading under 0.1 ETH in the future. So all in all, there could potentially be a bull market in the NFTs on the horizon, and you can't make a gross amount of money from NFTs. I mean, they have such a low supply that if demand spikes up, you can easily make good money on NFTs. I'm not denying that whatsoever. But if you end up planning on holding these things for the long run, just know what you're holding. Make sure you look at its historical price. I'd probably avoid holding something that just came out a few weeks ago or a week ago or today or a few days ago, just for the fact that you don't know its long-term potential. You don't know if it's going to hold its floor price. If you look at something like Mutant Ape Yacht Club throughout the whole bear market of September and August, that's where you really start to see what is a blue chip, because Mutant Ape Yacht Club held a 4 Ethereum floor throughout the whole bear market. People weren't letting go of those. So just know that a lot of these things can go to zero, but there are some good ones. Personally, I think Sandbox Land, although it's being hyped up a lot right now, could definitely be a great investment, because Sandbox is going to be a great metaverse game, and you need the land. It's actual utility in the game. You actually get something out of owning it. A lot of these NFT projects don't have any utility, and that's where it gets very, very sketchy, because you don't know if the hype will die down in a few months. You don't know if it's a fad, if it's a trend or not. You don't know if there's actual utility behind an actual profile picture. I mean, what is the development team doing to actually bring you value other than giving you a cute JPEG image? That's what I'm looking for personally for now on when I'm looking for these NFTs. Yes, you can get lucky. Yes, your profile picture NFT could turn into a blue chip. I'm not denying that. I'm just saying that in the past we've seen more often than not, these things go down to under 0.1 ETH or even lower because they just aren't offering the same utility and benefits that some other NFTs are. They don't have as strong of a community. And yeah, after all that being said, I hope that has helped you if you were interested in buying NFTs to not just chase the FOMO, but actually do some research, find out if there is utility, and figure out how this NFT will help you in the future. That's why I really like things like Sandbox. I like Mutant Ape Yacht Club just because it has such a great community and it held its floor. There's a few others, Creature World as well. It held its floor over 1 Ethereum throughout October. And yeah, that's all I got for the video. Hope you guys have enjoyed. Leave a like if you guys did. Subscribe for more. I'll be seeing you guys next time. Peace.